Once again, we back. Now, Velo, we've just been keeping quiet over the previous year because we had to as well ourselves assess ourselves as a company. Because the thing about in this gaming industry, why we even bring in this show is that it's hard to make it. There's steps and mistakes you have to make and learn from. And then with that, you are able to grow. So right now, coming back, pushing our campaign of Road to AGW, catch us there. As we're making our game, we just, in the industry especially, right, it's really quite small and quite family-like. Every time we go to these events, we meet the same people, the same faces, but that's the thing, and that's where the problem lies, is that we're not meeting new faces into the game. Not a lot of people are aware or see what is happening, so this is where we're bringing this section, The West Show, where we discuss gaming, music, art, everything to do within the creative space, so people and children especially can see and learn that there's many other opportunities out there, especially in South Africa, which is our growing industry. And with me, once again, Pete the Skeet.
I am Lisedi, but people call me LSD and the West Gent. That's my gamer tag. Very happy to be doing this. This is our very first episode, and today we have got a very special guest. Our very first guest for the podcast. This man is a person that we met a couple of years back, and we also got into a game jam with them. And I think it was Fagugezi, right?
Fagugezi.
Yeah.
Yes, Fagugezi. It was 2020.
Was it 2020?
2021.
2021.
October.
And with these guys, we placed first place, and that threw us into the incubator, and the rest was history. So,
without further ado.
Okay, so I'm going to introduce myself. I am Homolang Marule, but some people call me Nati. Another story for another day. My gamer tags are just Homolang OG, like my real names. When I create characters, it's usually Thai something. So it's like Tyron, whatever, Tigerian. I stick to my names. Yeah, I stick to my names. And I'm the founder and director of Attribute. We're going to be showing you some cool games that we're making, so I don't have to pre-introduce them, but some of them you can even get on Play Store already, but we'll get into the thick of it as the podcast continues.
So my king, tell us, my king.
Yeah.
What got you into gaming in the first place? Or even that one game, I don't even know what got you into gaming.
Yeah, because it's like, how do you describe it as one thing, right? And I struggle to do that. So I'll just retell my story as short as possible, and then we'll see where we find that one thing, if it's even one. So the first time I was introduced to gaming was the arcade, right? You go there, you're seeing some people, hey bro, this guy's
Mustafa.
You see that excitement, you're like, oh, what are people doing here? Like, we're playing games, etc., etc.
Yeah.
They're playing King of Fighters. One of my uncles from my aunt's married family was there playing. And they're playing King of Fighters, these guys are fighting. I'm like, I want to join, They're like, you don't know shit, bro. And like, what are you trying to do? That time I was in grade 3, so obviously these guys were like grade 12, some of them working, like, I know it's crazy, bro.
Yeah.
Then I got my 50 cent, put it in there. I got murdered. I don't even know what was happening.
I think that very first time you play a fighting game, you just know that it's up.
Yo, bro, they cooked me up.
You know what? This man is skilled in fighting games.
That's why he's
on that day.
Give us a chance.
Tomorrow, I came back. 450 cents. Practice mode. Had to learn what was happening, Had to put myself in that. Tell you, from that one session there. So I played in the afternoon, number 2. At 5, when those guys started coming, they didn't stand a chance. One game, I was sweeping people, man, making people learn new things. So after that, I started coming home late because I always wanted to play with these guys, right?
Yeah.
Then my mom was like,
You
must come back home early.
Can't come home late.
So came back home early. started making like the characters from King of Fighters as like these paper doll kind of
Oh.
figurines. Because I wanted to be there, but I'm not
Yeah.
there, so I'm bringing it home in some way, you know.
Oh.
And at some point, I just couldn't take it, but I was like, no, I'll take the belt.
I'll
I'll come
take
back
the belt.
late and take the belt.
Listen.
Then my mom was like, nah, this guy's too stubborn. He actually wants to play games.
Yeah.
And she bought me a PlayStation and God of War. Played that for a very long time before I discovered the behind the scenes, the credits. When I figured them out, pressed X there for the first time, I'm seeing these people that made this game.
Yeah.
Like,
What are these types?
human beings make this? Like, I was playing the arcade. I don't know.
How old
I'm
were
a
you
kid,
this
right?
time?
Grade 4.
Great.
Grade 4.
Yeah.
That's
So
cool.
it's like I'm summarizing a 1 year period here of me starting to get into gaming. So around that 1 year period is when I noticed that people make this. And the whole time I just never even thought, who makes this? Like, it's just not things that come to your head. But when I saw it for the first time, I was like, oh, be like that guy.
I want to
be like that
Listen,
guy.
this is my role model right here.
I didn't know there was a cause or what, but I knew. See, that guy's cool, bro.
That guy's the coolest.
So that's how I got into it. So is that one thing or like a whole progression?
I think you gave us a whole, like a character arc where this person went from A to Z. This many. I'm pretty sure your parents beat you up for coming home late.
I did tell you, bro, I'll take the belt. I got to a point where I was like, no, I will game. You see that sun going down, that sun is a beating, but I will play.
Your origin
I'll
story.
be fine, yes. And then they're like, yeah, you see how hard we beat you, you're not going back. I get tomorrow, 50 cents. I'll be fine. I can cry one more night.
One more
That's why they had to buy me the PlayStation.
They had
This
no
guy's
choice.
too stubborn, dog. You can't do anything to stop
You
him.
didn't give them much of a choice.
You can't stop him.
So, God of War, you mentioned God of War as like being one of the very first games that you had on your system.
Yeah.
Why do you like that game?
Man, I think at the time, couldn't really tell because you're falling in love with the game.
Yeah.
This is like if you asked a gent, what's your type when they just started dating their first girlfriend? It's like, fam, I don't know.
I don't know.
She was just a so I got into it. I just liked the combat, how the blades were flowing. I'd say the feedback design was nice. The story of Kratos, didn't even really understand it too much, but the guy looked cool on the cover. God of War 1. So I just like the whole thing, and I'm a kid. He looks badass. I'm like, I like what I'm doing here. But I think I fell in love with difficulty very quickly because I was already pushing the difficulty modes.
You're a masochist,
back then.
basically.
Hey, that's what they say. So I think that's why I liked it. The combat was well designed, and there was enough difficulty there for me to have to plan, to have to think, to not just passively get by. But those puzzles chow me, dude. Sometimes for weeks, you just leave the game alone.
Same here.
And we had no internet at that time.
You can't search for cheat codes.
I had to figure everything out by myself. I was the cheat code. I go to school, I'm like, this is how you solve that one.
I tell you, people like, yo, dog, how did you figure this out? Nah, don't worry,
Don't
dog.
worry.
Cause it took me 2 weeks.
Yeah.
And also with discovering how to solve a puzzle, when you get back to school, you don't want to tell nobody. You're like, I suffered through it.
Yeah,
Whether you
go
did
through
your
it.
2 weeks as well.
Actually, I think the worst things I've ever experienced in the PS2 era was not puzzles, it was bosses, man. Like Jinpachi from Tekken 5 and the final boss of True Crime, is it Streets of LA? With the
Streets
one
of
with
LA,
the
yes.
Asian guy.
Yes.
Yeah.
So you find him on top of the helicopter pad. Yo. Gents, I have had rage moments in my lifetime. But those two drew tears from my eyes. I was there like, just die, bro. Like, just go. I have been here for hours. Just die, please. Yo, those are the worst moments in gaming.
It reminds me of, remember that GTA, the train mission?
Yeah.
The GTA train mission is the
Wrong
worst.
side of the track.
All you had to do was follow the damn train.
Bro, at that time Big Smoke is on the bike with you. He's missing the shots.
Missing every shot.
He's got that stormtrooper aim. Like the shots are not letting you. Like, please kill this guy before we get there, please. I've been here for hours.
And he looks at you. All you had to do
Was follow the damn train.
That's what I was doing.
You're supposed to shoot.
You shoot.
This guy doesn't shoot everything.
Don't worry about the train. Shoot, nigga.
I'm gonna ask you guys questions.
Yeah.
You guys the guest.
Yeah.
What was a moment in gaming where that tear just fell, bruh?
Someone let me see. Let me see.
If I were to think real heavy,
Yeah.
yeah, it was.
FIFA.
Okay, now you're bringing a dark past.
That's a very dark one.
Okay.
So, I will touch on the FIFA. But the one that made me realize was this. So I was like, watching a walkthrough of Dark Souls #1.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, and it was a speedrunner walkthrough.
Yeah.
So I'm memorizing the way you take it. I'm like, easy this thing down. I don't know why people are crying for this game. Steve, I was like, you don't know nothing, dog. I'm ready to play Dark Souls. I launched it, man.
Yeah.
I'm like, in this speedrun, they did this. And there's a part where there's like a church, right?
Yeah.
When you enter it, there's a huge poster that just jumps down.
Yeah.
I was like, speed run. I run around the church. I found the door. I enter. This whole time I haven't fought a single enemy. I get into that passageway. I see a skeleton there. I chow it. He kills me. He kills me. He kills me 3 times. I finally kill it. I'm like, no stress. Right now it's 30 minutes into the game. As I'm turning the corner, it's now upstairs. There's another skeleton there with just a bow and an arrow. I died for 2 hours.
Just hoot. Turn the corner to dead.
And the screen when you die just turns so dark. It just goes,
Yeah.
get red. Like, yo.
Then
Yeah.
I've never played Dark Souls past that.
Yeah.
So literally that moment I was like, you know what?
Yeah.
I exited the game, uninstalled it, deleted it, because I didn't pirate it. Deleted it, and I've never touched a Dark Souls game until Elden Ring, but that's it. At least it was more fair. Yeah, that was my moment.
It's not so the worst suffering you've ever experienced in gaming.
Unless it was FIFA. so FIFA is a different chat. Cause me, you know myself, guys. I'm a calm person, a chill person, and so I started playing FIFA Ultimate Team around 2019-18.
Yeah.
There by Vitz. So I'd come through every weekend. You remember? You'd always see me there. Yeah, just jamming FIFA online. And then I was playing Ultimate Team, and the thing I hate about Ultimate Team is that it's fixed. If you have good players, you're gonna win. That's it.
Guaranteed.
Yeah.
So I'm there gaming. I won 1 game, 2 games, and I was like, yeah, I'm ready. I'm pumped. And then now the next game, 7-0 before halftime. My man, I threw chairs in the classroom. I picked up. I kicked the chair. I fight outside. I'm like, nah, though. I think I listen to music. I calm myself down. I'm like, you know what? This is not me. And then it's just the game. It's just the game.
I'm still perfectly sane. It's the game.
I go back. 7-0 before half time. Once again, I threw chairs. Dog, the security guards came.
They had the chance.
Yeah, they had the chairs. And then they asked me what's going on. I was like, I was just moving the I don't even remember. That excuse was just so dumb, dog. Then they just told me, you know what, because they always know I'm there. They're like, just relax.
Just relax, bro.
It's
It's not that deep. It's
not
a
that
game. Come on.
That's the game
But there
that
was
made me
that
cry.
demon inside you. It is that demon.
Yeah.
It is that. Don't tell me it's not that thing. It is.
So with me,
What's
man,
the worst?
you see, with me, it's a specific game, right? And let me give you a background story. This is me. I'm like 12 years old, I think, at the time. I have, like, remember when these videos were still a thing?
Yeah.
You know, in Blockbuster and all those. So I was like, let me get Call of Duty Black Ops 2.
Okay.
So I played through the campaign. I'm like, you know, the campaign is designed to make you feel a badass, like a badass if you play on easy.
Oh, you know,
I'm
so
guessing we went online.
yeah, I online.
Stories go.
Hey.
So in the campaign, I'm flourishing. I'm like, you know what? I am cooking. Maybe I'm that good. I was playing on easy, but I had no perception of like difficulty at that time. I was 12. Come on, guys. But I get online. First match. I'm there. Pa. 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 Somebody is sniping me. They are showing this person
They're
sniping.
showing the kill cam.
Every time I spawn, you know you can camp at the spawn point.
Yeah.
Yep.
And literally the moment you spawn, I had that whole loop for like the duration of the match. It was just me. Like, okay,
Your confidence was
yo, I was like, nah, next game. I see that. Okay, I can move around. Sharp. You know, there's no guy with the sniper. Everybody's got their guns. There's chaos. People are shooting. I got one kill in. I'm like, yes, here we go. It's time. And then there is this one guy. Whoever you are, I will find you one of these days. I will find you, and we're gonna have a rematch.
Your days
But
are numbered.
This guy, literally, the weapon he had is the greatest weapon ever known to Call of Duty. The knife.
Oh, instant kill.
Runs past me. And you know, during that time, gaming was so disrespectful that after they kill you, they teabag.
Feedback, yeah.
So,
Yo, and as a kid,
Exactly.
that gets in. As a
That's
kid,
weak
so heck, though.
as a
and
kid.
you can't do nothing about it because you suck. That's the worst part.
That's actually the worst, eh?
And then this is the kicker, like the final part. Like after the match is done, you know, everybody's typing GG, GG, GG. This guy types the N word, and I'm like,
Huh. Was it my And I'm pretty sure because South African servers, you get it. It's your hand there, bro.
It's
you
your-
know, your hand.
Johan. Like I think that was yeah.
That
for
was
me,
yours.
that was my
Okay,
origin
now.
story.
I just wanted to hear everyone's story. At least I was playing AI, man. You were playing real people.
Yo,
But gents, that move Jimpachi had was not fair. Eh? That my entire run, bruh. I was doing the cool moves, my combos. I was dodging, and when all you have to do is
literally.
and then I
Have you played what is it? Marvel vs. Capcom,
Marvel vs. Capcom.
the arcade one.
Yes, I used to play the arcade one.
With the Akuma. All he does is
with
this.
the wings and the robotic arm. Yeah.
Next screen.
Yeah,
Next screen.
Yo! Dog, I remember because for me with the arcade machine, right? In
Yeah.
Brown they used to have this huge arcade station. I think, if I remember correctly, do you see where Drama is? That street of Drama and
They
KFC.
get the music stuff.
Yes,
Yeah.
Oh,
that
yeah,
street there before South Point took the whole building. There was an arcade station there. When you come through, you game. And I was there with my big brother. Obviously, I would lose, but you defeat the game for me, and I'll just play the first round. If I lose, obviously, which I did always.
Okay, then it saves the
And then
heart.
he saves
It's funny how everyone did that. I also did that for my cousins and siblings as well. Like I'd let them play, and then I'd salvage the match. And
Yeah,
then
let them play. Salvage the match.
Yeah.
And with that, Akuma, right? Like my big brother could defeat anybody, but when it came to Akuma, the metallic one, and then there's the one after the metallic,
Yeah,
the
Mecha.
Super Akuma. Wait, is it the Mecha?
It's Mecha, the one with the wings.
With the wings. Oh, all you'd see is literally the screen just goes black. You're like, hey. Now you're tapping the machine. What's going on?
That character's gone. Switch.
Flash,
Go to the next character.
Your health gone. So you could be perfect. Like your health can be perfect. Like him, it was still 0, 0, 0. And I would think to myself like, it was a strategy, a marketing strategy.
Yeah.
Because you have to pay to play.
Yes.
You check. And they just make sure that the final boss is difficult. Because everybody else you defeated, you have the
feel
confidence.
good, yeah.
You feel good.
Then this guy wrecks you.
Wrecks
and
you.
then you put it more 50
You put in more.
That's
You
when
put
they
in
get
more.
their capital.
You put in more. You see that life service model, not this current one. that one worked. That one worked.
Yeah.
But with the gaming gents,
Yeah.
actually, because we all have like many games that we love in a sense that we can't really pinpoint, as you were saying your story, you can't really pinpoint where it started. But with what you were saying earlier, is when you were like talking about God of War and you saw the credits and all of this stuff. At such a young age, realizing that was a path, how was it navigating through life where most people, more probably everybody around you does not see the same thing as you see, do not see it as a viable option, and you yourself getting into this, you have to study. So that means even though you want to do gaming, you still have to take the other, all these. How was that for you navigating through that?
Well, I think I had one of the most forgiving upbringings of a nerd possible. It just happened to be that fortunate combination of nerd, gangster, and badass who will punch you for saying the wrong thing. Right? So I'm no longer that way, by the way. I've matured. So with that combination, I had a good group of friends that surrounded me. And I'm pretty sure like some of those niggas did not understand like what the hell I was talking about. But because I had the baddest chick at school and all of that, then he's probably making sense, you know? So I think I was surrounded by like people who would embrace whatever weirdness I have. And I didn't have that thing of being an outlier and then being able to notice, holy shit, I'm a weirdo. Right? Because when you're surrounded by people who validate what you're saying and all of that, you just feel like, oh, this is how everyone goes. You know? And then I got to around maybe my grade 10, I think, and I still had my group and some other new people at the time, but I think that's when it started setting in with, people are different out here, you know? Like, people do, I'll be out there with my kind of fashion that I took from video games. Like, I look like video game characters. And you'd see these guys with the lime green, like, long thingies. DMD. I'm a Kipki. All-Star. You'll see these people, and everyone's like, whoa, this guy looks dope. They're like, right? So I think that's when I started noticing that, okay, maybe I'm not the general person here. You know, maybe I'm somewhat of an outlier. But also school-wise, I was doing quite well. I think I was prefect 2 times in high school, because you get prefect once a year, right? Next year you can't get nominated. The only one I skipped out on, I think, was when we were in grade 12, because I was doing too many things anyway to begin with. So I had all of these foundations that helped me not have to go through the standard path that I expect someone who wants to do gaming to go through. And it's that most likely you're going to notice very early on in your life in South Africa that there's not a lot of people who think the way you do. Even if they play games, they could be like, do I just play FIFA? What are you talking about? Right? You're telling them about these experimental games and these mechanics. Maybe you're trying to tell them how you break games or how you make builds. And they're like talking. They don't get that. They just want to kick a ball and it goes through the net. That's all they want to do. So you'll probably have that first, and it might even demotivate you from thinking there's something bigger behind how you're thinking. I got a PlayStation. That's big. For someone coming from Seshego, so at the time, I'm pretty sure I probably had to be like in the top 2% of people who got that. It's another lucky thing. I got a PC as well in grade 1 because I was good at computers. Shout out to my mom, by the way. She was very supportive.
Shout out to the old lady. The old lady. Thank you very much.
You know? So I got all of these things that just helped me just beeline through this. But I believe that someone who does not get those are gonna face heavy demotivation. In terms of trying to pursue this thing. Having to get into vids, I think it was like level 4 pure maths and stuff like that. All of these weird things. I applied for other courses as well, but I remember that was around the ballpark. Some people are just not good at that. And maybe they're artists and they could get demotivated too. They might not even apply for vids at all. I've asked some people before that don't even want to do gaming. I'm like, oh, have you ever considered applying to vids? They're like, nope, I won't. And I'm like, dude, even if they reject your thing, just apply. They're like, nah, I won't. So I could imagine like how much harder it would be for someone like trying to get through gaming. like even Olady again, when I told her that I wanted to do animation, she was like, yeah, just do your research, make sure that this thing, there's an economy for it here, you can get something by. I think I did the worst research paper ever seen in mankind history. But she was like, there's effort, you know, like
There's effort.
clearly this guy wants to do this. Clearly this guy wants to do this. So then she allowed me to, but that is so far from the norm, right? Normally they'll tell you, yeah, go do accounting, and then afterwards use your money to go study game design. But then once you do accounting, you're gonna get a car, you might get a house, you might get a girlfriend or a boyfriend, and you have all of these financial traps that are now forcing you to stay in accounting, and now it's like a long dream past you. I had a friend who wanted to do like musical instruments and wanted to do it at Wits. He ended up having to go do civil engineering, right? They were like, yeah, do civil and you can get the money to do music. When he did civil, afterwards just getting work in Polokwane was tough, right? And now his dream of doing music was much further away. He tried pursuing it by himself with his own money and stuff like that. And I always imagine, like, dude, if you're at Wits, man, you'd meet a group of people. Those people will get you connections. You'll go to events. If you're talented and you're good enough, top 3 in the class, you'll get sponsorships. You'll get opportunities to push this way better than you could as yourself. So I am not a supporter of this thing of do this and then do this. But coming from a black community, you have to understand that you're taking a big risk against poverty because, you know, a lot of us, the parents maybe don't even own the house. You don't have a house, you still have to buy that. Maybe groceries aren't looking fresh. So when you start working, your money is also going to go there. So like all of these other things you're contending with, right? But I've always said this to you, right? I believe that we can all die tomorrow, right? I don't say today, but I like saying tomorrow. So I like spending every today in a way that I wouldn't regret if I died tomorrow. Right? So if I went and started doing, let's say, electrical engineering before I did game design, I would not want to die tomorrow because I want to do game design 4 years from now, right? Which to me tells me that I'm not living right. If I'm looking forward to 4 years from now, it means I'm not doing the right thing now. So it's a big challenge. There's lots of disadvantages that we face. But from a passionate perspective, I'd say just chase it, be serious about it, make sure you get the dough from it as well. But it's not going to be easy. Your friends might not understand, your parents might not understand, stereotypes are against you, varsity applications, requirements are against you. There are all these things that you have to get through. But if you love it enough, there'll be nothing.
So now, after all of that, after you pursuing your dream, breaking out of like the whole stigma of what the creative industry is and whatever, finding your own way, how did you get to founding your company?
Oh, okay. So I was with this jet.
You know my body.
We were with Tallest Mo, 10 gaming.
Don't tell me about Tallest Mo. Gents! Well, the gaming industry is very tough.
This is what I'm telling you in the story. We were there 2019 Tallest Mo with Josh and Jamestown Lake with Questa pushing this team. They're telling us now, you know, we're gonna get paid. These things are gonna happen. Nesty C's managers coming over.
We make a game for him.
About a game it's gonna be made. Then we ask the magic question: what is the budget for this game?
Guess. Wait.
Actually, yeah, you guess.
Let's even give you more context. Okay. AAA. Remember your
AAA. Like imagine Mustafa. What is that TMNT Revenge of the Shredder?
Yes.
Yeah, that is perfect example of it.
So around
Mustafa,
that
immense art style.
And AAA, right?
Story.
Yeah, that story.
Mechanics is what be
9 levels.
9 levels.
Memory. Yes, 9
and
levels.
How many months?
Level. 3 months.
Yeah. 3 months. 3 months.
Yeah.
Here's the budget.
I would say the one that would make sense is like maybe 2 million, around 2 million.
Okay, and
3 months.
He's deep in the gaming industry now, so easy. Now we understand. Yes.
Yeah, 2 million for 3 months makes sense because that means you have to hire stupid big team
Yes.
to congest that timeline,
Exactly.
right?
Mm.
It was 40,000 rands.
No way.
That was
No
40K.
40,000
40K.
Yes, in 3 months you are getting your game. AAA marketed everything, financial what? Everything is there. 40K, my boy.
40K.
That's like for one person though.
Bro,
But that's still below. That's still below what one person should be earning for that amount of time.
Hey, I just pull this guy to
I
the
remember,
corner.
hey, cause
I
remember-
talked to Josh and I'm traumatized. This is what I heard. Does this make sense?
Cause I remember I invited him. I'm like, yo, dog, there's this gaming thing happening. Come through, let's go.
Yeah.
We check. And then he cooked, network, and then he got us the jobs. So now we did the store spanning, telling people this.
Yeah.
And then he started getting deeper into the things. And then when he told me, he goes, hey, my boy, it's 40K. I'm like, yeah.
Even if
40K.
they were to like back pay those unpaid months,
You?
that 40K would have not been enough.
Nah, not at all.
Never.
Right?
Not at
So
all.
me and this guy are here. We're like, look, we can't fault these people, right? This is not slander, by the way. It's just a matter of that's not their specialty.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Other guy does machinery. This other guy is a comedian. This other guy is doing, like
Yeah, it was.
IT. You couldn't blame them,
Yeah.
right?
Can't blame them,
We
yeah.
are from the perspective that's like, holy shit, this is not looking good. But
Because they were passionate gamers.
they were passionate.
Like,
Yeah.
they love gaming.
They love- yeah.
But as how we came into the business side of gaming,
yeah.
they were also still in their
Still trying
lane.
to
Yeah,
understand.
yeah.
So yeah, it's not
So, yeah,
slander.
it's not slander, no
Yes.
shade, right? It's
No,
just
no
the,
shade.
the reality of how the industry grows.
Don't say, hey, here at the West Show, they slender people. No,
Hey.
it's not
No,
slander.
no,
We're just
no.
giving you the facts.
We give you the facts. Yeah, I think if anyone perceives this as slander, they don't know what growth is.
Yeah.
I think it's those kinds of people that expect you to start a business today, make $1 million next month. It doesn't work that way,
Doesn't
right?
work.
Everyone makes mistakes. We're just proud enough to outline them and say,
Yeah.
these
Yeah.
are the things that happened. So from there, I was like, dude, if this thing is gonna happen, it's gonna happen from people who understand what this gaming thing is.
Yeah.
I had zero business knowledge at that point either. Right?
Yeah.
So I had no idea. But I was like, I think I'm a good start.
Yeah.
Someone who knows how to make these things, someone who knows how much time they take. That's a good start. I just need to start upskilling on the business thing. It's gonna take years. I was aware of that.
Yeah.
But I was like, if I have to meet someone else again who is not at least some version of me, I'm gonna get like demoralized. Right?
Yeah.
So I'm just taking that leap so that when other game designers come into the space, they talk to someone like me. They're like, okay, there's something higher. There's like other people out there that you can aspire to be like, and they're local and they're here, right? Because like you hear about 24-bit, you don't even know where they're
With
based.
it, yeah.
You hear about Sea Monster, they're actually a Sea Monster because you're like, where are they? Like there's no feasible connection there. So I was like, nah, in Bramfontein, I want us to start, talk to people, see that something's happening. So around 2021 March, we got saw an opening for animation funding that opened, and it needed a registered company to do that. So this was like almost a year and so plus after we did the stuff with Tolasmo. So I told this guy, I'm like, hey bro, I want to register. Remember, I've been telling you, bro, we have to be the one to do it. We did it, did the pitch, budget was unrealistic and all that, but we were there now, we were pushing. I think the budget was like 6.2 million, right? At least it's not 40K.
Yeah.
But obviously,
Yeah.
now I'll tell you, they will not give me 6.2 million with no track record. But at the time, I thought that's how it works. You just ask for money and
And you get it, yeah.
Yep. So when they applied, and that's how it started. We didn't get the application, but we're like, okay, companies registered, we're here, the group is here, the gents are here. What can we do? Let's push this thing. Let's see what we can do. That's how it started. So it was inspired by me seeing what people who don't understand this thing could do to the industry, and me then wanting to be that difference, right? Be the change you want to
Be
see.
the change you want to see.
Yes.
Yeah, and then got to a point where I saw an opportunity, and I was like, this is perfect for me to finally register and just start chasing this thing.
Hey, you guys are firstborns, right?
Yes,
Yep.
Firstborn.
Yeah.
And then on your side as well, because I can see with these stories the similarities you also share with that.
Yeah.
You now coming into, especially as a firstborn, because I'm second child, middle child,
Middle
J.
child.
Cole type things, you know.
Lisa Simpson.
I got beatings, but they didn't do too much, you know.
Where's the telling me about the beatings at firstborn level?
So now with those ones, my key, your guy's name, as you are not only paving the way, as he says, to like new opportunities to other children, people trying to get into any space that requires you starting your own thing, rather than what you said, where you go into engineering first before you get to what you actually want to do.
Yeah.
With your side as well, like being the one who's paving the way, how, especially with your siblings, how do you see the impact that not only gaming but just choosing to be creative?
Yeah.
Especially in SA, because in our country, you can get really famous on
Oh,
anything.
Yeah.
Look at Skomota.
How does he dance?
Famous of anything. But that's how creative this country allows us to be.
Yeah.
And with your side, how do you say, or what would be your tips and advice on the next person continuing this? Like, just be like, yo, how do you,
okay.
how do you tackle it?
So basically, I believe in the concept of as human beings, as a human being, you're supposed to have a dream, And when you have a dream, like you will make sure that you shift everything so that your dream is still going, like there's some semblance of a direction towards that dream. So in terms of the creative industry specifically, like sure, it is tough. Like you're gonna get laughed at, you're gonna get ridiculed, you're gonna have people asking you like, what the hell is happening? Like, what are you doing? Because like I come from a small town, it's Woodbank, Homolang. So when I was in high school, like people, for example, I would like people. I was one of the few people that had a PS4 around that time. Right?
Yeah.
Like there weren't too many people at that time, so I would buy The Witcher. Like I bought The Witcher, Wild Hunt. You guys know that it won Game of the Year that year, right? So
beautiful.
I was playing this game and I'm like, holy shit, And my friend had come over at that time and he's looking at me. He's like, he know mine.
Yeah, in Benji, right?
Like I think that I'm a travel. He's like, "Pega ma travel." And then like there's like a ghoul in that game or something. And then he's like, "Pega le robot."
Whoa, bro!
Pega le robot.
Look at this robot.
Exactly. So people were just constantly nudging me to get FIFA. But then at the end of the day, those are the games I liked. I played those games, and the more I played them, I remember for me, the catalyst, it's even right there, over there. We'll get a shot of it.
Wait, what is it? I'll fetch it.
Fallout 4, pull it out there.
I'll fetch it. Continue.
It's on the right.
On the right?
Yeah, there it is. You see, so this game right here is what started my career basically. And it's not because it's like
You're gonna like what I have to show you today.
I'm about to make a name. I wouldn't say it's not the best game out there, or it's not the best game I've played. Even at that time, it wasn't the best game that I played. But the one thing that was pivotal for me was seeing Todd Howard get onto the stage and lie to us in E3.
My Todd Howard.
E3, he was like, famous quote, "It just works."
It just works.
And in my head, I was like, it just works. It's working because I'm going to buy this game as soon as it comes out.
It's not a bug, it's a feature.
Exactly. So
African Howard.
So around that time, like I saw him on stage and I envisioned myself there. I was like, I want to be there doing the same thing, presenting a game that we passionately sat down and worked on like for a long time. Like we put our all into this, and now getting to show the world for the first time what we had been doing. I was like, I want to be there. So after that, like I think it was around grade 9 when I had this whole discovery, and at grade 10 we had to choose subjects. I was like, pure maths, physics, IT. Flunked maths. Flunked IT. Yo, IT, like there was literally 8 of us in the IT class. 8 of us.
So the flunk thing stands out even more.
Even more than this 8. Obviously, you know who's flanking.
There were 8 of us. There were 2 black guys in that class. The rest were white. Like
so now it even stands out even more.
My favorite part is that every single lesson was conducted in Afrikaans. Afrikaans, like you were hearing more doen die code so, and you like, yeah?
I was doom this code, say. Like doom this code,
Doom this code, okay. I'll break it, yeah. So at that time, like, you're being confused by the fact that you're learning.
I think doom this code.
So what did he say?
Doing the code. So at that time, you're like, yeah.
Doom the code, yeah. Okay.
So at that time, you're being confused by all these new concepts you're learning about computers and all of that,
Yeah.
and like programming and all that. And at the same time, your teacher's busy speaking to you in Afrikaans, and you're like. So that's why I was flunking, basically. I think the highest mark I ever got for IT in that year was 27%. I was proud of myself then.
I mean, at that point,
I was like, I worked hard.
bro,
I worked for this 27%. I worked for it.
Already have to understand coding. And then with Afrikaans. Yeah.
Physics then. By some miracle, I was able to do physics.
Yeah.
But math, my math was best. My highest was 13%. That was kooky. When I got that 13, I was like, yeah, it's above 10%. It's better than the no.
Yeah. I was so weird in that my physics was always higher than my maths.
Yeah.
I just liked physics more. Yeah.
Physics is fine. Physics is fine. So after that, like after all of that, I was like, okay, damn. How the hell are we gonna do this? Like, what career path wise? How am I? Like, what can I take? What can I do? So then, that's when my mom. Shout out to my mom as well. You know. Yeah.
Thank you, ladies.
So she around that time, like we had a bit of a rocky because like she works at ESCOM. She's like an engineer and all that, right? So that was kind of the same career path that she wanted me to follow at some point. But then she saw that this nigga's dying out in maths. Like what is he gonna do? What is he gonna do? But every time I look at this guy, he's at home, he's playing whatever game he just bought. Playing. He's not interacting. He's not going outside. Only time I'll be outside the house is if I'm at school or if there's a rugby match. But I was always just indoors playing. And then from there, my mom saw that, okay, she went to, like, it was around grade 11. She started doing her research in universities because I was just very indifferent. And now I was like, hey, Spider-Man is coming out next year. That was where my headspace was at the time. I wasn't thinking about university. Then she's like, okay, there's this course at Wits. Like, it's called digital arts, and then there's like game design and all that. There's like, okay, let me apply for this course for
Your
you.
mom is a champ.
Yeah.
She found that for you.
She found it for me. I had no idea that it existed. So she applies for it, and then she tells me, she's like, yo, make your portfolio now. I procrastinate. I'm like,
I'm none.
Day before.
That game is
Yep.
You know what happened to that game.
The greatest game. And what day before that?
Let's hear his day before.
This is my day before. So portfolio then, like I had done the writing aspect of it because our writing when it came natural. I had done the writing aspect of it, and I think they also wanted like pictures. I wanted drawing.
Yeah, arts and drawing.
This is the head. Because if you have ever seen my drawings, you know that this is a true
bench. I won't bench.
So now then, I'm like, what am I gonna do? Then I'm like, okay. I tell my mom, I'm like, hey, mom, you know what, I can't draw. So what can happen? My mom calls like one of her friends, and I think the child or the friend themselves, like he was into
Shout out to all ladies.
So yeah, he was into drawing. Like he drew these cool Marvel characters, Iron Man, what. I took those and I arranged the portfolio. Now, pa. It's time. Sent through the portfolio, and then like we had that open day thingy. Remember?
So you cheated. Went there,
Basically, I cheated. Yeah. Sorry, Kieran. Sorry, team. I lied to you guys.
Handy at the time.
Oh, it was Handy.
Yeah, Handy. But I saw Tim and Kieran that day when I was going to. Yeah, but sorry, Handy as well. So I cheated. Yeah, I cheated. So after that, like we went to the whole thingy, and then we were like it was that whole session where you're like making a board game type thing, you know, just to introduce yourself to what the course is about and all that. Yeah. And then like at that time, Kieran is chilling on the desk like this, chilling on the desk looking at the portfolios like. Then I can see from the corner of my eye that he's at my portfolio. He's looking, he's Then he puts it to the side. I'm like, oh shit. And then this is bad. When we continue making the game. I think I met one of my friends, Jake, at that time. Like, we were probably in the same group. And Kaya Senpai, I don't know if Kaya Senpai is still around or wherever he is, but shout out to you, homie. And yeah, we were busy doing that. We were just making the game, and then like he calls us one by one, like to like tell us about the portfolio and whatever. So then it comes to me, and then I'm like, shit, I saw you, just put it to the side, man. Like, then he's like, hey dog, like your writing's pretty good, you know. Like I'd given a review of Far Cry because there was a review section and there was a creative writing section.
Yes.
So I gave a review of Far Cry, like explaining why I like the game, Far Cry 5 specifically. Then he's like, hey, we'll accept you here at Vince if I can trade you Far Cry for God of War. And I was like,
good shot.
It never happened, Kieran. I had to buy God of War, Kieran, but shout out to you.
Kieran.
Yeah. And then after that, basically it was like, you know what, provisional acceptance, whatever. I saw it updated on the site and I was like, okay, now we just need to pass matric. After passing matric, never looked back. Like, I got it accepted like many places, like maybe your UJs, your UCTs, whatever, like for more film related stuff and all that. And you know, a general degree and all that. And then when I saw Vids, I didn't even look at the rest. I was like, I need Lapo. Vids, same time. And from there,
Vids acceptance, the other
it doesn't matter.
Got to Vids, started flunking hard as usual.
You know.
It's religion at this point to start flunking, man. So I'm flunking. Yeah, I'm flunking. And then at some point, like, everybody was at the incubator then by Timolokong, right? And then I came through a bit later, you know, and then that's when we started our team, basically. Around that time, we were operating as photosynthesis at the time. And then we just, like, we had no idea what we were doing. We were like, we want to do this, but we have no idea what we're doing.
That's all of us.
You know? Man, I just enjoyed the PCs, dog.
Enjoyed the PCs, enjoyed the consoles upstairs,
the headphones,
everything. So around that time, I was like, yeah, okay, sharp. Somehow, we had to make a plan to like do this, you know, and we landed in Cape Town that time. Remember, I think I like to see Cape Town as like one of the founding moments, the very start of everything, you know, because at that time, like, we got there, very first day, we were already drunk.
Yeah, you know.
Like, we had already just started drinking.
Disclaimer.
Editor, take care of this.
Editor, take care of this. But yeah, and then we had that whole pitch thing, that whole pitching thing. At that time when we had cooked up the pitch, I was like, yo, this is fire. This is fire. But also while making the pitch,
that's what it is. This is fire.
I'm like, this is fire.
That day when this guy was Octane on stage.
Yes, remember the time when
You know Octane in the menu screen. That was you, fam.
Do you guys know of Mr. Caffeine? I think he was doing the Ubisoft presentation. The one who goes. Yeah, that's basically him.
That's the time when Owl swore on stage.
Yes, remember he swore clean on the stage though.
Yeah.
We're like, yo,
Dude, we have lost today.
Nico was quiet. Nico was like, I'm not gonna do anything.
He was just mind boggled, like,
get your eyes off me.
Get
There's
your
nothing
eyes
to
off
see
me.
here. This guy.
but Miro's war, dog.
My part, I did my part. Like, what I had to do, I stuck within my boundary.
Yeah. You were like, I'm not gonna do anything extra. Please get me off stage. As soon as possible.
On stage.
That whole scene was funny. Dog. Even the chair fell at some point. Remember?
I'm just happy that everybody saw the light in it.
Yeah.
Like, imagine he saw then the room went silent. Yo, that would have destroyed it.
Yeah. Everybody laughed when he saw. And we're like,
I'll help you guys. I'll
Yeah.
carry.
I'll
I think like, dude, you were ready to go, and you're like the third person. I think.
yeah.
I think you were the intro, right? So you started with Nico. This guy just clearly did not want to say anything.
this man was stage
He was
fright.
just like, hey, I'm done. My segment is done.
That's my segment.
And then you have Octane, bro.
Octane is here. He's ready.
Okay. So and you go in.
So you know, guys.
Now you have this prelude, right?
Yeah.
Where for the last two people, this guy has been charged out. Everyone in the crowd is wondering, why is this guy so charged out? And then we get to you, right? Those sentences are not sentencing, bro. But you charged up, you know?
But you read. The
You
energy
paid
there.
for whatever you're saying. And I'm like, okay, what was that though? What did that mean? What did he say? Al came. He cleaned house.
Clean it up.
Yeah.
He cleaned
Al
house.
cleaned house.
Okay,
Shout out to Al as well.
Shout out
And
to
then,
Al.
and then he had the excitement, but he was also making sense. So you're like, okay, I see. And then he swore, and then that just broke the
That
ice,
just
you
broke
know?
everything.
And everyone just laughed, and then things were chill. I'll save you guys.
I'll pull through there. Because like it seemed like a weird bunch of, it's like with the name Last Minute Digital. It seemed like a last minute presentation. Maybe it really was.
Maybe it really was.
Maybe it really was. Getting a bunch of people there and everybody just going from it. And then in the end, at least we made some sort of sense.
But you see, from that day, I think that day for me highlighted all of the mistakes and all of the things that we needed to work on. Because like from that point, you have two choices from a point like that. It's either you remain complacent and you decide that I'm going to continue to do things this way, or you look at everything and you analyze it and you're like, oh damn, we messed up on this day, and actually admitting to and owning those mistakes. And then from there we just started. I feel like that was the inception of what Last Minute Digital became at that point, because that presentation was last minute, but right now we will work until the last minute. Not that we're gonna start to do things last minute,
That's a nice
but we're
transition.
now we're gonna work until the last minute. So we came up with the name. One of the options that we had for the name, it was a very easy choice because the two options we had were Mzansi Kings and Last Minute.
Leave that one in the picture.
Mzansi Kings.
Don't even fly with it back to
Mzansi Kings is what I'm
That's the King's digital.
It was a pretty easy choice. If you're looking at Mzansi Kings, dog, like it was a pretty easy choice. So from there we were like, Last Minute Digital, and then from there we just put our heads down. We worked, we did the MTN Ayoba thing, we continued working. We got a lot of contacts, we got like our network grew bigger, we started doing work for those contacts, contacts as well. We started doing, and we're still working on our games as well at the same time. Company has grown, we've gotten more people. And
concept artists as well,
artists
3D,
as well.
we even have a fashion designer. Hey,
Yeah.
I can't lie. It's been a blessing, and only thanks to God. It's been a blessing that we've been able to like just go in through this industry and keep on growing. And right now we're currently working with people who are just passionate, and we could connect with them at a human level, where right now all of us are working pro bono. Yes, we have our own side jobs we're pushing, our own gigs we're pushing, but the common project, everybody's just from the passion itself.
Everybody's gunning hard.
That's how they all start. That's the kind of stories that people like to not be upfront about, right? They always want to sound like they started with the cash. I don't know why they want to do that. I'm going to answer your question. I'm going to keep it way shorter than this guy.
I
6 times shorter.
I went through a very deep story.
So I'll answer your question again. Like, how is it doing this as a firstborn, right? I feel like it's tougher because you don't have anyone who's done those changes in your family that can make you comfortable in the first place. I mean, for a second-born, you can end up in the same situation, especially if the firstborn doesn't pop off and you still have all of those things waiting for you. Plus, maybe one extra hungry stomach from the firstborn. But I was good at engineering, graphics, and design. In high school, I also did physics and maths, geography, and all these sorts of courses. And my teacher for EGD really liked how well I was doing, so he was showing me all these prospects and trying to hook me up to this EGD or engineering route in life, telling me about the salaries I'd be getting and all of these sorts of things. Thinking about it now, if I get all of this, I can just change my family situation just like that, right? But I don't want to do EGD. And then it becomes a big choice between yourself and what makes you happy, and what your siblings and your mom and your family stands to gain from you being financially better off by doing the easy path, I guess.
Yeah.
So that was the difficult decision. But I was selfish enough to say that if I'm happy, I'm sure the people in my life will be happy for me too. You know, but funny enough, then it worked out well enough for me to be happy and then still do those changes that you know I wanted to do by doing engineering. So that's how it is as a firstborn. Typically, it's so tough because you never just choosing between two courses or just two careers or two different life adventures. You're choosing between your life and everyone else who could rely on you. Especially if you're black, man. Like poverty is common.
Maybe speaking from on that regard, right? As a second born, I'm from Zim. That's an inside joke. So every time it's a thing when like 2 years back, every time I'd like talk to people, I'll be like, yo, so my name is Peter, I'm from Zim. And then this man, for me, it just happened. And then he pointed it out because yo, dog, every time you talk to people, you'll be like, yo, I'm from Zim.
Yeah.
The hand gesture.
It's like me being, it's like me saying, hey, bro, I'm Homolang. I'm from Seychelles.
I thought it was normal, right? So with me on the second born side, right? Coming from a background where both my parents have masters. You check my father in architect and EGD, and then my mom in physics and maths. So during high school, I'm gonna be quick as well. During high school, my fallback subjects where I knew I'm always gonna pass was EGD, maths, and physics. That was just, I could understand it easy as I could,
Leverage your parents.
You check. So that one came easy to me. And then EGD, I was good, I won't lie. 2 times, 2015, 2016, best Mpumalanga result in EGD, got, my highest was 100% on a report, niggas. On a report, 100%.
Flawless victory.
Clean. I never got below 95. You check. So EGD, maths and physics always above 80. Physics, like you were saying earlier, I don't know how, but physics was higher.
Higher than maths.
Yeah, I couldn't even understand physics like
for
I
these game guys, it seems it's a thing.
So it was higher. And then from there, all I had, I think it was in grade 10 or 11, I was playing Naruto Ultimate Ninja Storm 3 during the June holidays. And while I'm playing, that's when it clicked to me. Because I've been gaming at a PS2, PS3, TV games, and I'm right now with my 360. It clicked to me, I was like, wait, somebody made this.
out of the blue, you just
It's funny, like how you never think about that.
Yeah,
It's crazy how much you
just
think
don't
about
think about it.
Yeah.
I was like, somebody made this game. And then I started researching, then I saw, then that's when I found out in Viz and Cape Town, they're the only 2 campuses with game design. But obviously, family, like, financial situation, I can't go to Cape Town. And at least my parents went to Viz and got their certifications there, their masters and stuff. So it's nepotism. It's kind of an easier thing for me to get there, you check. So literally, I only applied to 1 course and 1 course alone.
Wow.
Never applied to any other varsity. Never. It was Wits, game design, BA, G. Option 2 and 3, I left it. I was like, it's either this
guy is the one.
or it's nothing else.
So it's like,
Jet Li is the one.
That is it.
You know the movie, Jet Li is the one.
Oh, the one I come.
He's the one, though.
he's the one.
He's either the one or he's not.
Oh, he's not.
He's not.
Oh.
He's not checking with any other thing. Either I'm the guy that got to this course or I'm not.
We're still there.
Oh, we still there. Can that one see? My kid?
Yeah.
Oh, issue. So, concluding the story, basically, I think overall, it's always a hard journey, really, like getting into especially a creative industry in a developing country. But there's ways to it. And it's only by you trying and testing, going through your mistakes, can you learn and grow forth. Yeah. Now people have companies, people are going to these events, presenting, making games in the same rooms with Ubisoft, Xbox, all of these things, you check. So overall, I just think that in the sense what just guided us, it was just that childhood dream and the childhood belief that, you know what?
Yeah.
I love gaming, and that is it. From there, everything just came through.
Yeah.
So just pick your passion and stick to your passion. Once you pick a passion and stick to it, from there, everything else will open up on its own. But yeah, I don't know what you guys, your final words there?
Final words. Damn, it's over so quickly.
1 hour 30, dog.
This is obviously the first of many, guys. Like, we are going to release regularly. We're gonna have different guests as well. Our very first guest, Mr. Nati from Attribute. He said he was gonna give us the story of the name Nati, but I call him Nati. I know.
Yeah, we all call him
But
Nati,
you can
man.
call him Homolang, Tyrene, whatever you wanna
Call him Nati, man.
But thank you so much for being here, and we appreciate your time.
No problem, man. Always, you know, we're always looking to co-produce, man.
God,
all the time.
This industry needs more collaboration. I know, like, collaboration happens, but it does not happen at our level. It only starts happening once you're like the big boys.
Yeah.
So I think if we are smart, we would just learn from the big boys and say,
Exactly.
collaboration is key.
Perfection. Yeah.
I know. You're gonna see more of the gameplay after this episode, Vele. We're gonna post it at the end, Vele, of the episode where he's gonna be playing through the games and giving you talks, everything. And we're gonna post that section its own video as well, fully outright, so you can see all the games they are working on, everything, so you guys can get excited, get in tune, you know,
Thumbs
connect,
up,
you know,
like the video, subscribe to the work show, and thank you very much, everybody.
Like the video, like the video.
You play as Khamani, a Nubian archer with the ability to transform into a ferocious lion on a quest to transform his home, the Nubian desert, into the paradise it once was.